What's going on, guys? My name is Sebastian Stoneham. I live in this 1985 Volkswagen Vanagon, Westphalia. And for the past week, or no, it's been 2 weeks now. This is actually day 14 of living in this thing when it's just completely broken down. 14 days ago, I was on my way into town after work and my oil turbo feed line, it melted through a wire and dumped a bunch of oil out of the engine and starved the turbo from oil, and it completely seized up, and so like bad, no good. I ordered a new turbo. It came in 2 days ago and I replaced it. The spot I was camping out for the past 13 days was a campground that's very, very popular in this area. So once I did get it running yesterday, I drove it out here deeper into the forest so I could have some peace and quiet. The only downside is that now I'm 14 miles from where I work over at the airport here in Northwest Wyoming, and my only mode of reliable transportation is my mountain bike. At the other spot, it was 11 miles one way, so just over 22 mile day. Now it's gonna be 28 there and back with a little bit more hills and a lot more dirt road. Because on the drive out here, I noticed something that didn't sound right with the engine. And I'm just speculating here, it might be a rod knock. When my turbo oil feed line blew off and I tried to start the engine again to drive it, I think the crankcase was lacking oil because it all dumped out on the ground. So what is the plan now, you might be asking? Well, to be completely honest, I have no idea. All I know is that I'm in a pretty good spot now, and I don't have any neighbors here to bother me while I try and diagnose what's wrong with the van. But my fear is that if I dig too deep into the engine, I'm gonna discover something that might not be what I want in the long term. But if there's anything that I've learned throughout the ownership of this van, is that I can't take things too seriously or overthink them. So I'm just gonna dive in and see what I can do. So for those of you that don't know, this is 2000 to 2003. I'm not too sure what year specifically it is, but it's the ALH TDI. It's a 1.9 liter motor, and it's got a turbo and an injection pump and an air filter. It's as basic as it gets. So I'm hoping if I do have a major issue, it won't be too difficult to fix. I have had this engine torn apart before, but it was in a controlled environment, not in the middle of nowhere. Since these engines are kind of notorious of being starved from oil in the upper portion of the engine, I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the valve cover and see if I see anything that might be an issue. I've got the valve cover off now, and at first glance, I'm not seeing anything that I should be concerned about at all. It all looks pretty clean in there. No broken camshaft or anything, and no scoring on the lobes. I'm gonna go ahead and run the engine. I did put some cardboard in there, so hopefully I don't make too big of a mess, but I'm just gonna run the engine and see if I can't hear anything suspicious coming from the top end, and maybe try and source this. It did, in fact, make a mess. So it does sound like there is something coming from the top end and not the bottom end, which is good news, but the bad news is I don't know what it is. It could be anything. It could be like the worst case scenario, which is immediately what goes through my mind. It's like, okay, I've got a hole in my piston and a bent rod. It could be that, or it could be like a stuck lifter or something. I'm not sure, but it looks like everything's fine from the cam and I think they're called cam followers. They go on top of the valves. So I'm just not too sure. I'm gonna put the valve cover back on, run it again, and listen more. And I'm not too sure. Maybe I could do a compression test, but I don't have a compression tester with me right now. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put the valve cover back on and see and go from there. I only tighten these things like finger tight plus a little bit because they strip out really easily. I did a little bit of Googling and I don't think it's a rod knock. It's coming from more of the top of the engine than the bottom of the engine, but I'm not 100% sure. I need to, I think next I'm gonna drain the oil and see if anything comes out, inspect the oil filter. I have more oil. I don't have an oil filter. I did order one to Napa yesterday, so it should be there today, but that's like 30 miles and I don't want to ride my bike all the way over there today, and I'll just pick it up when I pick it up, I guess. With that being said, I am going to move the van to the other camp spot that's like across the dirt road over there. And because I've been hiking up this mountain to get like 1 bar of LTE to be able to Google stuff and try and diagnose this as best I can. So yeah, I'm just gonna pack up and move over there since the van is running. Now, I would love to try and find a tree to park under for some shade, but with me not running the van every day, I need as much sunlight as I could get because I've just got the 100-watt solar panel on the roof charging my 300 amp hour battery, and I use my 300 amp hour battery to charge everything else. And so far, it's been doing great. Look who it is! I'm not alone anymore. All right, well, I'm not alone anymore. My friend Tyler came and saved the day. If you don't know him by now, this is Tyler, and this is his van. Tyler has decided to trust me with this thing right here. It's an e-bike. This is gonna help me get to work and back, which is like 28 miles round trip. Yeah, this is gonna help a lot, and my legs are going to thank me and thank him. Well, I was gonna work on the van a little bit more today, but then it started getting late and, well, I didn't. So the conclusion is that the engine has a knock. I don't know what it is, and hopefully in the next couple days, I'll be able to source where this noise is coming from. Unfortunately, I did not do that today. The mosquitoes out here they're getting bad. Tis the season, I guess. Just spring in Wyoming. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching my videos, and I'll see you guys hopefully with some better news next week.